doing? I hope we all had a great weekend, and I hope we're ready for this new week, ready to kill it. If we come to the weekly, as usual, as we always start with Euro USD. So, guys, let's get right into it. If we come into the weekly time frame on Euro USD, you can see if we look to the left, right? First things, let's look to our left. What can we see? You can see here we had this equal highs that started this descending move, right? And it's an area of consolidation also, right? If we look at this, right? So you can see right here we have this consolidation. So this is a nice area of supply. A market came into this equal highs and then took out the liquidity, and since then we've just been moving sideways, right? And if we look here, we can see Euro USD, even a blind man can see, right? We're in an uptrend, and we've had this extended move upward. So now we're just slowing down, accumulating. So guys, that is the current market condition for Euro USD. So sometimes you might take positions and they might not go accordingly to what we initially planned. That's because if you can see, look at this market, look at what we're trading right here. So this is the weekly. I want us to have a clearer idea of what kind of positions that we're in. So they're not particularly the most ideal positions at the moment, but we make do with what we have, right? So that's why most of this month I've been sitting on my hands rather than being active in the market, because if you can see, we've been sideways since the summer, since June. We've been sideways. Yes, we've been finding positions, but it's been sideways. So you always gotta be cautious whenever you're taking this kind of trades. Now, if we come to the daily, so after you can see, so after we get liquidity grab, right, with this candle, what can we expect? Some sort of retracement. And now you can see on Euro USD, we've been having this um just barely sideways movement, guys. This has just been sideways. So whatever you want to take, just keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. Honestly, we've not really seen that major moves yet. I thought CPI was gonna give it to us on Friday, but uh, it didn't. And I guess even though the news was bad for the dollar, it was already priced in. And by the end of this week, we'll be waiting for Powell to speak. So that's also important, very important actually. So we expect a rate cut of about 25 BP. So let's see what happens at the end of this week. But for now, I'm just watching, guys. I'm just watching. Just this is just sideways, guys. But if we want to break this down mechanically, as we always do, swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high. So from here, right, from here, pardon, that was the wrong tool. My PVD tool, right? So we take our PVD tool, we measure that, we've come into discount. So you could start like looking for longs would not be the dumbest of ideas, would not be the right. So we've grabbed liquidity underneath here. So this can be a strong area of demand, and then from there we start to trickle up. But I wouldn't, that would just be guessing, right? So I wouldn't be interested in longs until we start to break this supply zones, right? So we have this supply area right here. So until we come above this 1.172, I wouldn't be interested in longs. And you can see we're just moving sideways and we're moving choppy. So guys, be careful with whatever sort of positions you want to take. Just understand what the market is doing, understand the market condition, and then from that would let you know, okay, how much do I want to expose myself to this sort of risk? You understand that? So it's very important. Moving on to DXY. Let's start from the weekly. Also, today is Monday. So on the weekly, we have similar story to Euro USD, right? Because if we look at the dollar index, um, you can see. Give me a second, guys. You can see this, right? This is what I want to show you guys. You can see this trend line, right? What do we have? We have one, we have two, and then we have the third touch, right? On that third touch, that was what we've been targeting for us to start breaking the highs. Because why? Normally on the lower time frame, we don't use trend lines, but on the higher time frame, they can be nice and strong positions where strong areas where you can look for reversal, you can look for continuation trades. And if you look at this, right, so we've come here to our left, we've grabbed all of this liquidity after this move down. We've grabbed all of this liquidity to our left. So, and now we're on the third trend line touch. So it's possible for us to start seeing that reversal into the upside, but we don't want to guess that, right? We don't want to guess that. We want to wait for what? For proper market structure shift. Because if you see here, we're squeezing into these lows, right? We made large swings, and now we're just squeezing and squeezing. So that could tell us, okay, the bears are slowing down, and perhaps we get a reversal. Who knows, right? So let's see what's about to happen on dollar. But keep in mind, guys, we've just been moving sideways and sideways and squeezing price action. So whatever you're trading, always be cautious and don't risk as much as you would normally do. You can risk less because of the market conditions that we're currently in, right? And so you can see it's just sideways, guys. It's just sideways. It's just sideways. Maybe we get some further upward momentum, maybe to grab this liquidity, or we could just come take out the lows, start taking out the lows, and maybe from this area of demand right here, you could start seeing some we grab this liquidity below here and start seeing some market structure shift to keep on going up. So we don't know for now. Let's see. Market is not really clear, honestly, this morning. It's not really been clear since last what this whole month basically. So I'm just absolutely my USD CHF position, but I'm just sitting on my hands, guys. I'm not looking to add any positions. I'm even looking to scale out of positions rather than adding more positions. So perhaps I'll be looking towards other pairs, maybe like the AUD, the Australian dollar, because of the situation with the Chinese. So we might get that gap up on the Australian dollar because once the Chinese yuan is going up, it affects the Australian dollar and they move in tune with each other. So let's be cautious and let's watch out for that. But for now, really, I don't see anything interesting on the dollar. We're just moving sideways, guys. On GBP USD, guys, we have similar story, but here with GBP USD, we're still more bearish. That's because okay, if we look to our left, we grab this liquidity, and from then we came to this because this was our low, our swing low, and this is our swing high, right? We came here, we swept it, and now we started to retrace into the highs, right? So we started to retrace into these highs, right? And then from there, that quarterly open, we and this strong supply zone that broke this structure right here, and then we started to push down from there. So for me, with GBP USD, you still have a stronger conviction for a sell, but keep in mind, guys, we have this strong area of demand right here to our left. We've grabbed liquidity, this strong area of demand, grab that liquidity. So it's a possibility that we can start pushing up from here, right? Start making some higher prices from here. So let's keep that in mind as and I'm not really a fan of this price action, honestly. I'm not really a fan of this price. We have so many descending highs, right? Not really a fan of this price action, so it's a possibility that we start grabbing it towards the end of this week. Let's see. Let's watch out for what's gonna happen. But not really a price, not really a fan. Honestly, not really a fan. With NZD USD, right? This is still bearish, right? This is even more bearish, right? So we have this as a buy up before the sell down, and then now we're coming back into it, right? And if we take our PVD tool, as we always do, right, you can see we've retraced into premium pricing. We've retraced into premium pricing. So let's see. We've been consolidating. So let's see what market wants to do. If we start to see that change of character, right? So here's our fractal low, here's our fractal high. All right, so here's our fractal low, here's our fractal high. So if we start seeing break of these lows, supply chain forming, then you can start to look for positions on NZD USD, guys. But remember, guys, dollar is not really clear at the moment, so you can just be cautious. But that is the plan, right? So we wait for this liquidity grab. We've grabbed all of this liquidity to the left, right? Maybe we can come here also grab that liquidity, react to this quarterly open. That would give us more conviction. But if it starts to break the fractal low, guys, you can start looking for those positions. With AUD USD, guys, as we're talking about with the Chinese yuan strength and the dollar weakness, you can just see beautiful, right? This is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful position. You can see we're consolidating, right? And then we just gapped up, right? So for me, I'm expecting AUD strength this week. And perhaps that wouldn't bother well too well for short. But if the only reason why I would be interested in longs, right, even though I'm expecting that strength, is once we start to break these highs, right? Once we start to take out these highs, then I can start looking for additional position, perhaps to take out all of this descending highs right here and this one right here. So guys, it's just all about patience. You don't need to rush to get in now. You can wait for that confirmation, breaking these highs, and then see we still have space and we still have targets that we can hit. Okay, guys, so let's be cautious. And then for USD CHF, guys, remember I took a position right here last week. So we're still waiting. Let's see what happens. But honestly, guys, I don't have much conviction in this position. Why? Because if you look at this price action, right? Just take a look at this price action. It's just been moving sideways. Pretty ugly price action, honestly. And yes, in as much as we're bearish, right? We're swing wise, we're bearish, but you can see we've been squeezing and squeezing, right? And that might bode for a sign of reversal, perhaps. So it's all about waiting. As you can see that we've been slowing down. So if we look at this mechanically, this is our sell, our buy rather, before the sell down, right? We broke that structure, and now we retrace into here where we came in slowly and squeezing. So that's why, and then we saw that fractal structure shift, right? Stops above this high. So let's see if market wants to give it to wants to give us that position. Beautiful. If it doesn't, we move on to the next one. So let's see how this plays out for this week. Still that position from last week. With gold, guys, gold made beautiful retracement last week, right? It's what we were begging and waiting to see, and you can see now we're just squeezing, right? Now we're just consolidating, right? Now we're just consolidating in this little wedge pattern, right? So for me, it's all about, okay, we're in this area of demand, right? We're in this area of demand, right? And now we're squeezing. Let me even see where the opens are on gold. I don't know what happened to all my opens. Just disappeared. I'm gonna have to fix that after this. So basically, we we're looking for breaks to the highs, right? So once the high fractal break, once you start seeing those high fractal breaks, then perhaps we can get into position. Maybe we take out the lows, right? Maybe we take out these lows and then retracement into the highs, and then we start looking for further position. But I like the way it's accumulating and the way it's consolidating, so perhaps waiting and building up for the next big move. If we come to USD card, guys, for USD card, as we've been talking about, right, if we look at this leg, right, we're bullish. And remember, Trump said all trade talks has broken down with Canada, so I still expect some Canadian weakness. And so Canadian weakness would mean higher prices for USD card. We've swept this liquidity, and now we're retracing into this area, right? And I think we had a quarterly open somewhere here, right? Yes, exactly. We had it right. Let me draw that out because I don't know. It used to all be on my chart, but it disappeared over the weekend. I'm gonna fix that today, but we don't have the time now. So it retraced, right? And if you look to the left, right, we've grabbed this liquidity, and then it's possible for us from here to start pushing up. But I would like something deeper, man. I would pause. I would like a deeper retracement, and then from there maybe we take out this liquidity lows, and then maybe we start to see that change of character, and we start to buy up. But from here we can still start buying because fundamentally the Canadian dollar is quite weak. So if you start to break the highs, guys, where's our fractal high? Our fractal high is right here. If you start to break these fractal highs, then perhaps you can start looking for those positions, but be cautious. With USD JPY, as I was waiting for this, have we grabbed this liquidity? Not necessarily, sort of, right? Um, we know we're bullish, right? We're making higher highs and higher lows, right? And I expect that to continue because okay, now we're in this impulse retracement impulse. So I expect us to keep on moving up. If we see a retracement, I expect it to just be short, to be a short retracement, and then maybe we take out this liquidity. We take out this liquidity, right? This low here, come into this demand area, take out this low here, come into this demand area, and then from there we can start looking for further longs. But I can see this as my impulsive phase, and in impulsive phase, all I'm just looking for is more longs, guys. All I'm looking for is more longs. Okay, so finally for US oil, we're looking to sell this. I'm looking to sell US oil, right? Because coming to the higher time frame, you can see we've been making this move, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. We broke structure right here. This became our swing high, our swing low. We've retraced all the way into premium quarterly open. So for me, it's all about okay, once we see that fractal break, which is right here, guys, right? Once we see those candle closes, be looking for new I'll be looking for new positions on US oil, guys. I'm keeping this is one of my trades for the week. US oil, I'm keeping my eye out for that. I want to see those bears come into the market, then retrace, and then from there we start to sell, hopefully. So I wish you guys a wonderful trading day. See you tomorrow. Thank you.